What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Omni-sensei back with part 5 of Naruto What If? Ruthless Uchiha OC conquering the Shinobi world. If you enjoyed this series, drop a like down below. It only takes a second, and it's free, and while you are down there hit that subscribe button. Remember to check out the author of this fantastic fanfic. Link in the description. Having said that, let's get into it. At that very moment, Karen sensed coordinates of his subordinates from the coins he had entrusted to his subordinates. It felt as if they had infused chakra into the currency, enabling him to teleport them all back to Konoha. Without hesitation, Karen activated his Mangekyou Sharingan and Space Control Light technique. Instantly, the coins and his subordinates appeared before him in the heart of Konoha. The 5 individuals, now standing in front of Karen, showed their respect by bowing deeply. In unison, they addressed him, Master Karen. Karen acknowledged their gesture with a nod, and turned his gaze toward Fugaku. I have a few matters to discuss with my subordinates, and need to gather details about the mission I assigned them, he stated. We will have to postpone our conversation for another day. Fugaku nodded understandingly and added, very well. By the way, are you planning to attend the 4th Hokage's inauguration ceremony? Indeed, I wouldn't miss it, replied Karen with a determined tone. With that, he departed from the scene, his loyal subordinates in tow, heading towards his residence. Upon reaching his residence, Karen took his seat at the head of the room, with his loyal subordinates flanking him on either side. He wasted no time in getting straight to business. Karen inquired, did everything go according to plan in Inauguration and the Rain country? Nakamura, one of his trusted subordinates, responded, yes, everything proceeded smoothly. Inauguration is now firmly under Yahiko's control, and we have also gained influence over several key ministers in the Rain country. With their assistance, we anticipate taking control of the entire Rain country without excessive bloodshed. While securing Inauguration, we did encounter some resistance from prominent jonins, but we swiftly quelled those rebellions. Yahiko's ascension to Amikage has been kept a closely guarded secret, just as you instructed. Karen nodded in approval. You've all done an exceptional job, he acknowledged. Shifting gears, he turned his attention to the matter of their unique Mangekyou Sharingan abilities. By the way, would any of you be willing to share the details of your Mangekyou Sharingan abilities? It's entirely your choice, of course. Nakamura took the lead, expressing willingness to reveal his abilities. I'll start, he offered. One of my eyes grants me the power to manipulate fire, allowing me to drastically increase my strength. The other eye enables me to control someone else's body, with the duration of control, depending on the opponent's willpower. Aiko followed, stating, my Mangekyou Sharingan grants me the ability to command thunder, enhancing my speed and strength significantly. My second eye allows me to create powerful barriers. Masuda chimed in, one of my eyes lets me manipulate diamond, bolstering both my defensive capabilities and the strength of my attacks. My other eye enables me to reflect incoming attacks, with the effectiveness of the reflection determined by the attack's power. Emiko revealed her abilities, saying, my Mangekyou Sharingan allows me to control the water element, enhancing my strength and agility. My other eye grants me the power to heal both myself and others from injuries. Hiroshi concluded, one of my eyes grants me mastery over the wind element, amplifying my strength and agility. My other eye can create a vacuum within a specific range, currently extending up to 20 meters. Karen absorbed the information, his appreciation for his skilled subordinates deepening. These extraordinary abilities held the key to their success and the challenges that lay ahead. I'm pleased that you've awakened these remarkable abilities, Karen remarked. With them, you'll undoubtedly become formidable. However, I must emphasize the importance of restraint. For now, it's crucial that you refrain from excessive use. Over time, your blood concentration will align with that of our ancestor, Indra. Only then will you have the freedom to wield your Mangekyou Sharingan without constraint. But I must caution you, overuse of the Mangekyou Sharingan before reaching that point could lead to blindness, a risk we cannot afford. Karen sternly warned his subordinates about the potential side effects of their newfound powers. Master Karen, we understand the gravity of the situation, each subordinate affirmed in unison. Very well, Karen continued. Now that you've returned, resume your duties. Today marks the inauguration of the 4th Hokage, and security must be flawless. I need you to relay this message to every Uchiha ninja in the Konoha police force. They must remain vigilant. Nakamura assured their leader, saying, Master Karen, you need not worry. We will ensure order is maintained without any incident. Inside the dimly lit confines of the root base, an urgent report echoed through the shadows. Danzo-sama, Uchiha Karen's subordinates have successfully returned to Konoha, a root ninja relayed, bowing respectfully before Danzo. Danzo's expression soured with frustration. Uchiha Karen, he muttered through gritted teeth. Not only have your subordinates caused the deaths of many of my trusted root ninjas, but they return as if untouched by our efforts. In the midst of Danzo's vexation, an unexpected disturbance rippled through the room. A small vortex of space materialized within the root base, and from it emerged a mysterious figure. The interloper donned a mask and was cloaked in a dark overcoat, instantly setting the room's occupants on edge. Every root ninja present swiftly drew their weapons, poised for a confrontation with this uninvited guest. The mysterious masked man, Obito, advanced with deliberate steps. As he moved forward, the front line of root ninjas launched an aggressive attack, their weapons poised for battle. However, their surprise was palpable when they discovered that their strikes passed harmlessly through the masked man's body. The enigmatic figure before them was indeed Obito, and he was employing his Kami ability. Reacting swiftly, Obito seized one of the root ninjas by the head, and forcefully drove it into the ground. Meanwhile, another root ninja, using the assassination technique, attempted to strike Obito with his sword. Once again, the blade passed through Obito as he phased using Kami. With remarkable swiftness, Obito retrieved a kunai from the body of the fallen root ninja, and plunged it into the leg of his would-be attacker. Witnessing this bewildering display of weird ability, the root ninjas grew increasingly cautious, their minds racing to devise a strategy to neutralize this formidable adversary. Obito, who had remained silent since his arrival, chose this moment to speak. "I haven't come here to engage in combat," he declared. "I'm here to talk. Otherwise, it wouldn't be difficult for me to eliminate all of you." In response to Obito's words, Danzo raised his hand, signaling to his root operatives to cease their assault. The room fell into an eerie silence, as everyone awaited further instructions from their leader. Danzo scrutinized the mysterious intruder and inquired, "Who are you, and what is your purpose here?" "My name is inconsequential," replied Obito. "What matters is that we share a common enemy, Uchiha Karen." Danzo, confident in his abilities, retorted, "Why would I require your assistance? I am more than capable of handling Uchiha Karen." Obito's response carried a note of intrigue. "Are you certain? Can you contend with the power of 5 Manjaku Sharingan?" Danzo's brow furrowed in confusion. 5 Manjaku Sharingan? What are you talking about?" Obito elucidated, "It's quite straightforward. Each of Karen's 5 subordinates has awakened the Manjaku Sharingan." Danzo's countenance shifted, betraying a mix of disbelief and concern. "How is it even possible? You may be attempting to deceive me." Obito's voice remained steady as he continued, "Am I truly deceiving you? Allow me to elucidate further. I witnessed the entire conflict. You fled from the battle between Hanzo and the Akatsuki. Hanzo has since met his demise, and Imegakure is now firmly under the control of Uchiha Karen. Remarkably, during their confrontation with Hanzo, all 5 of Karen's subordinates awakened the Manjaku Sharingan." Danzo's curiosity persisted, and he inquired further, "How do you possess such knowledge about these developments? And why have you chosen to involve me?" Obito's response was straightforward. "The reason is rather simple. I had ambitions to control Imegakure, but unexpectedly, Karen and his subordinates intervened, effectively seizing control of the village," Obito explained. "As for why I approached you, it's because you share a common goal. The desire to govern Imegakure. Additionally, you bear a long-standing grudge against Uchiha Karen." Danzo leaned in, intrigued. "So, what sort of collaboration do you propose, and do you honestly believe you can face Uchiha Karen alone?" Obito didn't mince words. "To be frank, I don't believe I can defeat him alone. Our abilities are similar, if not more powerful, which limits my options. However, there's one who can face him, the 3rd Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen." Danzo, eyes narrowed, pressed for clarity. "So, in essence, you wish to use Konoha and me to eliminate Uchiha Karen?" Obito shook his head. "Not quite. On the contrary, this partnership could help you achieve your long-held aspiration." Danzo's demeanor shifted, his expression growing serious. "And what aspiration might that be?" Obito delivered his reply with a knowing tone. "The dream of becoming Hokage." Danzo, taken aback by Obito's knowledge, remarked, "It seems you possess a considerable amount of information about me." Obito responded calmly, "Of course, it's essential to understand the individuals you're dealing with, don't you think?" Danzo, intrigued yet cautious, posed a critical question. "How, exactly, do you plan to assist me in achieving this aspiration?" Obito leaned in, sharing the crux of his scheme. "You are aware that the wife of the 4th Hokage, Uzumaki Kushina, is currently pregnant, correct?" Danzo nodded in acknowledgement. "That is common knowledge in Konoha." Obito continued, "You must also know that when a Jinchuriki gives birth, the seal containing the tailed beast within them is at its weakest point." Danzo's understanding deepened as he contemplated the implications. Obito outlined his audacious plan. "Here is my proposal. On the day when Uzumaki Kushina, the wife of the 4th Hokage, gives birth, I will seize the opportunity to extract the 9 tails from her body. By controlling the beast and eliminating the 4th Hokage in the process, I will create a diversion." Danzo's eyes narrowed as he followed Obito's logic. Obito continued, simultaneously, your role will be to persuade the third Hokage to confront Uchiha Karen. Given their confrontation, it is highly likely that one of them will meet their demise. Even if Uchiha Karen attempts to flee, I have my doubts that a powerful and prideful individual like him would back down from such a battle. Obito paused for emphasis before concluding, in the wake of this confrontation, you can enlist the services of formidable S-rank ninja from the black market to eliminate either one or both of them. With both the third and fourth Hokage out of the picture, no one will stand in your path to becoming Hokage. Danzo absorbed the audacious scheme, realizing the potential for power that lay within its execution. Danzo, still harboring doubts about Obito's claim regarding controlling the Nine Tails and eliminating the fourth Hokage, voiced his concerns. Convincing Hiruzen to face Karen won't be a problem, he'll willingly take up the fight. But can I trust that you will truly control the Nine Tails and carry out your part of the plan? Obito assured Danzo, you needn't worry about me. Your sole task is to persuade the third Hokage to confront Uchiha Karen. As Obito began to fade away, a swirling vortex of space formed in front of him. In his final moments within the root base, Obito revealed his Sharingan to Danzo, leaving a lasting impression on the root leader. Danzo, visibly stunned, murmured in shock, a Sharingan with a complex pattern and devoid of the typical 3-Tomo Mangekyo Sharingan. As Obito disappeared completely, Danzo was left to grapple with the revelation. His mind raced as he attempted to piece together the puzzle. That man Uchiha clan. Danzo muttered to himself, his expression one of profound confusion. Suddenly, a memory surfaced within Danzo's consciousness. He remembered a voice, one that resonated eerily with the voice of the man who had just vanished, Madara Uchiha. Danzo's horror deepened as he realized the implications. But how is this possible? I witnessed Uchiha Madara's lifeless body with my own eyes, he whispered to himself. With a sense of urgency, Danzo knew he had to consult with Hiruzen. Turning to one of his subordinates, he issued a decisive command. Inform Hiruzen that I require an immediate audience. Stress that this matter is of utmost importance. And also call for Hamura and Kaharu to present in our meeting. The root ninja swiftly carried out Danzo's orders, promptly delivering the message to Hiruzen. Upon hearing Danzo's request, Hiruzen responded, inform Danzo that I will meet with him tonight, after Minato's official appointment as the fourth Hokage. The root ninja acknowledged the directive and made his exit, ensuring that the message would reach Danzo in a timely manner. Additionally, the root ninja conveyed the same message to Hamura and Kaharu, who concurred with the planned meeting at night as Hiruzen had specified. Returning to the root base, the ninja informed Danzo of Hiruzen's response. Danzo received the information with a sense of cautious optimism. He remarked, if Hiruzen agrees, then there is a glimmer of hope for me to ascend to the position of Hokage, after the eventual passing of both Hiruzen and Minato. As for that Uchiha, even if he were Madara, I've gained valuable insights from our initial encounter. With adequate preparation, I can certainly contain him. Confidence radiated from Danzo, bolstering his belief that he could navigate the complex web of power and politics within Konoha. However, unbeknownst to him, both Obito and Karen would find his perspective on the matter rather naive, a sentiment that might evoke laughter if they were privy to his thoughts. The challenges ahead, with formidable adversaries like Obito and Karen in the mix, would prove far more complex than Danzo could currently anticipate. The transition of power to Minato as the new Hokage unfolded with remarkable smoothness, devoid of any significant issues. While there were whispers of foolish assassins from various villages, entertaining the idea of eliminating Minato, these misguided individuals were promptly neutralized by the vigilant Konoha police force, primarily consisting of skilled ninjas from the Uchiha clan, under the command of Uchiha Karen's subordinates. Following Minato's official appointment, the gathered crowd of civilians gradually dispersed. Minato made his way to his newly acquired office, prepared to embrace the weighty responsibilities of his new role as Hokage. As the villagers celebrated the occasion, Jonin showered Minato with a diverse array of gifts. They were well aware of the additional joy in Minato's life, his wife's expectancy of a child, and took the opportunity to offer their heartfelt congratulations. The atmosphere was one of unity and optimism, as the village looked ahead to a future under the guidance of their new Hokage. As the momentous occasion continued, it was finally Uchiha Karen's turn to offer his gift to Minato. He presented Minato with a gold coin, and as he did so, Karen remarked, congratulations on becoming a Hokage in name. Karen's gaze subtly shifted in the direction of Hiruzen, and the atmosphere in the room shifted noticeably. The smiles that had adorned the faces of those present began to fade, as they had not anticipated such boldness. While it was an open secret that Minato held the title of Hokage without the associated authority, no one dared to voice this reality aloud. The presence of Uchiha Karen, with his formidable strength, served as a deterrent against such overt expressions. Karen swiftly corrected himself, though it was clear to all that his initial words were meant to be taken seriously. My apologies, it was a slip of the tongue. Congratulations on becoming the fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato. Minato accepted the gift with a smile, and Karen went on to explain its significance. This gold coin serves not only as an ornament, but also as a token of your one-time request for my assistance. Use it wisely, for you will have but a single opportunity to call upon me. After Uchiha Karen and every other jonin who had come to congratulate Minato left the Hokage office, the spacious room grew eerily silent. The ceremonial bustle had faded into the background, and now it was just Minato, the newly appointed Hokage, and his predecessor, the venerable Hiruzen Sarutobi. The sun's warm rays streamed through the open window, casting long shadows across the room. Hiruzen, coming to Minato's side, broke the silence with a question that had lingered in the air like a storm cloud. He leaned in, his voice a low, contemplative murmur. Do you also think that I am keeping powers to myself? Minato, a man of few words but deep contemplation, considered the weight of the question. He met Hiruzen's wise gaze and replied, his words measured and respectful, not at all, Hiruzen. On the contrary, I believe that what you are doing is necessary. After all, I am very new to the intricacies of politics and don't know much about it. Your guidance will be invaluable to me. A warm smile crept across Hiruzen's face, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of his years. I am very happy that you understand this, he said with genuine relief. With that understanding, a seamless transition of power took place, as Minato took the helm as the Hokage, and Hiruzen assumed the role of the trusted assistant to the village's leader. The Hokage office, now under Minato's capable leadership, thrummed with newfound energy and promise. The legacy of the Hidden Leaf Village continued to evolve, guided by the passing of the torch from one leader to the next, ensuring a bright and secure future for all its inhabitants. In the Sarutobi clan compound, nestled under the cloak of night, a gathering of notable figures took place within Hiruzen's residence. Hiruzen, the third Hokage, stood alongside the enigmatic Danzo, the ever-observant Himura, the discerning Koharu, and the silent yet formidable presence of Biwa, Hiruzen's wife, who sat in quiet support behind her husband. Curiosity and concern hung heavy in the air, and it was Koharu who decided to break the silence, her voice laced with urgency. Danzo, for what reason did you call for this emergency meeting? Danzo's gaze remained fixed on the matter at hand. It's about Uchiha Karen, he replied, his voice carrying a grave tone. At the mere mention of Uchiha Karen, a storm of emotions erupted within Biwa. She clenched her fist in anger, her memories of her fallen sons resurfacing, a painful reminder of the chaos associated with that name. Uchiha Karen. What about him? Hiruzen inquired, his voice calm yet inquisitive. Danzo wasted no time in delivering the disconcerting news. Uchiha Karen has taken control of the Megakure. The collective gasp swept through the room, leaving not only Himura but Koharu as well in a state of shock. But isn't there Hanzo? How did he allow such a thing? Koharu questioned, her disbelief evident in her voice. Hanzo is dead, Danzo revealed, adding a layer of grim finality to the situation. Uchiha Karen killed him. Himura inquired, trying to make sense of the dire turn of events. Danzo shook his head, revealing more intricate details. No, it was his subordinates who killed Hanzo. Koharu's frustration could no longer be contained. At such a late hour of the night, did you call us here to jest with us? Himura shared her sentiment, casting doubt on the severity of the situation. Yes, I accept that Uchiha Karen's subordinates are powerful, but are they truly capable of such an audacious act as killing Hanzo? Danzo's stern expression betrayed no hint of jest. Do you really think I would joke, especially when an Uchiha is involved? Silenced by the gravity of the situation, Koharu and Himura exchanged uneasy glances, realizing that the threat posed by Uchiha Karen and his forces was far more formidable than they had initially comprehended. How did you get this news? Because if this news got leaked, then the Anbu should have also received the news, Hiruzen inquired, a tinge of suspicion lacing his words. Danzo, a master of secrets and shadowy dealings, responded with a measured tone. Because when this happened, I was present in the Rain Country. Hiruzen's keen mind immediately picked up on the discrepancy. This means that you didn't go to the Thunder Country as you stated. You have mentioned your mission was to eliminate the daimyo of Thunder Country, but instead, you went to the Rain Country. Danzo did not flinch at the revelation. He offered an explanation, shrouded in layers of intent. I went to Megakure for the benefit of Konoha. I wanted to eliminate the threat of Akatsuki on behalf of Hanzo and gain his favor. This was to ensure that Hanzo would not turn his forces against Konoha, and would be more inclined to support us in the upcoming battles. Hiruzen raised an eyebrow, his mind racing to make sense of Danzo's intricate web of schemes. But, according to my information, Akatsuki works for Hanzo. Why would he need your help in eliminating Akatsuki? Danzo's self-assured demeanor remained unshaken. HMPH, Hiruzen, you underestimate me. While there might not be a direct conflict between them, I believe that conflicts can be created and manipulated in our favor. Hiruzen was not surprised by Danzo's calculated response. He knew the man's reputation for cunning and the dark tricks he employed to achieve his objectives. Despite the facade, Hiruzen had known Danzo for a long time, and he was aware that the explanation provided was far from the complete truth. As it turned out, Hiruzen's instincts were spot on. Danzo's true purpose in Imegakure was to disrupt the peace treaty negotiations between Uwagakure and Konoha. However, before his sinister plan could unfold, Danzo's own subordinates met a grim fate at the hands of Uchiha Karen's loyal forces. How exactly did Karen's subordinates manage to eliminate Hanzo? Hiruzen inquired, his curiosity piqued by the escalating intrigue. Danzo hesitated for a moment before reluctantly divulging the astonishing truth. Karen's subordinates awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan. Hiruzen, Hamura, and Koharu were left utterly dumbfounded by the revelation. Hiruzen's initial shock momentarily obscured the implications, causing him to overlook a crucial detail. He hastily queried, Karen's which subordinate awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan? Danzo corrected him, his voice carrying the weight of this startling revelation. You didn't hear correctly. I said Karen's subordinates. In fact, every one of Karen's subordinates has awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan. A cold shiver ran down Hiruzen's spine as he realized the gravity of the situation. Not only was Uchiha Karen a formidable force on his own, but now his entire cadre possessed the rare and potent Mangekyou Sharingan. The village of Konoha was now faced with the staggering presence of 6 known individuals wielding this extraordinary power. The tides of destiny were turning, and the hidden threads of a complex web began to unravel, leaving Hiruzen with an ominous foreboding of the challenges that lay ahead. The room, once filled with esteemed figures of the Hidden Leaf Village, was now cloaked in an oppressive silence. Not a word escaped the lips of anyone present, and the weight of the revelation hung heavy in the air, stifling even the most assertive voices. Breaking the stillness, Koharu, her voice a trembling whisper, ventured a question that echoed the collective uncertainty. Hiruzen, what are we going to do now? Hamura, who had been deep in thought, interjected with a grave suspicion. Hiruzen, I doubt that the reason why Karen remained silent throughout Minato's ascension as Hokage is because he harbors an intent to seize the position by force. Hiruzen, the third Hokage, nodded in agreement, his aged eyes reflecting a deep concern. You are correct, this possibility cannot be dismissed. Koharu, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and desperation, added, but what can we do? The strength of Uchiha Karen is insurmountable. Not to mention that now he commands his 5 subordinates, all of whom possess the formidable Mangekyou Sharingan. Defeating him in terms of sheer strength seems an impossible task. The room fell into another oppressive silence, as the magnitude of the situation settled upon the minds of all those present. A sense of hopelessness pervaded the room, leaving them with no clear path forward. Amidst the disheartening silence, Danzo, the master of clandestine operations and conspiracies, offered a glimmer of hope, though it came with the foreboding notion of sacrifice. I have a solution, Hiruzen, but it necessitates certain sacrifices. Hiruzen's gaze sharpened as he leaned forward, his interest piqued. Let's hear it, Danzo. What is the solution you speak of, and what sacrifices are you proposing? Danzo, ever the strategist, began to explain his enigmatic plan. As you know, Uzumaki Kushina is about to give birth, and during that moment, someone who have the ability to control the 9 tails will control the 9 tails. Hiruzen's curiosity deepened as he inquired, control the 9 tails. But who possesses such an ability to control the 9 tails? Danzo's response held a sense of mystery. I don't possess the exact identity of the person who will control the 9 tails, but one thing is certain. He is also an Uchiha, and he harbors a deep resentment towards Uchiha Karen. This hatred fuels his desire to seize control of the 9 tails. Hiruzen, the wise and experienced third Hokage, leaned forward with an air of seriousness. If you claim to have a solution, then it implies that you thoroughly thought out this plan. Please, explain the plan in detail. Danzo, ever the cryptic strategist, proceeded to lay out the intricate web of this mysterious plan, his voice tinged with an air of uncertainty. The Uchiha I'm referring to conceals his identity behind a mask, and I must admit that his true intentions remain somewhat elusive. However, the plan he's proposed seems not only feasible, but also calculated. Here's how it unfolds. The Master Uchiha will take control of the 9 tails, and, through his immense power, will aim to bring about the downfall of the Uchiha clan. His foremost priority will be to eliminate Uchiha Karen's loyal subordinates. Meanwhile, the Master Uchiha will engage Minato in a one-on-one confrontation. In this intricate choreography, you, Hiruzen, will dispatch Karen on a mission outside the village, all under the pretext of a critically important task. And outside the village you will fight Karen and kill him, and with your strength, it is not impossible to kill Karen, who have newly obtained Mangekyou Sharingan. As Danzo unveiled the plan, the room remained steeped in a tense atmosphere. The fate of the Hidden Leaf Village was poised on a precipice, and the decisions made within these hallowed walls held the power to shape its destiny in unimaginable ways. Even if I'm ready to face Uchiha Karen, there's a significant risk with that Master Uchiha member you're so confident about. What if he's an ally or even a subordinate of Uchiha Karen? You never know. Because of this uncertainty, I wouldn't take that chance, stated Hiruzen. So, you mean you won't confront Uchiha Karen? Danzo inquired. As I said, never, Hiruzen affirmed. Hiruzen, this is a golden opportunity, and we may not get another one, Danzo emphasized. Danzo, we acknowledge the potential here, but you must also understand that taking this risk might lead us into trouble, Homura added. Exactly, Danzo. Those Uchiha can't be trusted. This might be a trap by Karen, Koharu chimed in. You're all just cowards. We need to take risks if we want to succeed, Danzo argued. Your perspective is flawed, but one thing is certain. We must find a way to eliminate Uchiha Karen before he poses a threat to Konoha. I've already devised a plan, so there's no need to worry, assured Hiruzen, firmly rejecting Danzo's proposal. Upon hearing this, Koharu expressed confusion. What method are you talking about? Homura added, at the very least, you can share your plan with us. Hiruzen explained, I'll ask Minato and Kushina to create a sealing barrier that restricts movement in space. Koharu sought clarification, you mean you want Minato to create a space barrier seal? Hiruzen nodded, and Danzo, although disappointed that his proposal had been rejected, was pleased that Hiruzen had taken steps to eliminate Uchiha Karen, even if it wasn't in line with his original plan. Will Minato actually go through with it? Koharu inquired, her eyes filled with uncertainty. He will, without a doubt, because it's paramount for the safety of Konoha. As the Hokage, it's his solemn duty, declared Hiruzen with unwavering resolve, his aged eyes reflecting the weight of his words. As a chorus of solemn nods rippled through the room, the tense meeting drew to a close. Soon after, one by one, everyone, except Hiruzen, exited his home. The shadows of uncertainty and responsibility hung heavy in the night, a daunting reminder of the challenges they faced. As Danzo made his way towards the route's hidden base, an ominous disturbance rippled through the air. A swirling vortex materialized in the space behind him, catching the attention of the vigilant sensory ninja trailing Danzo. The warning echoed through their communication channels, be on guard, someone has just arrived. Instantly, every other route operative sprang into action, poised for a potential threat. Emerging from the mysterious vortex was none other than the enigmatic Master Beto. Locking eyes with the unexpected visitor, Danzo demanded, what brings you here at such an unholy hour? Obito's concealed visage betrayed no emotion as he replied, I heard about your recent meeting with the third Hokage and your comrades. I presume the subject of discussion revolved around my plans. The anticipation got the best of me, and I couldn't resist seeking answers. So, what was the outcome of your rendezvous? Danzo glanced at his loyal subordinates, a silent signal for them to scatter and ensure no eavesdroppers were nearby. This solitary moment was crucial for their conversation. With a measured tone, Danzo revealed, Hiruzen unequivocally rejected the idea of confronting Uchiha Karen. Obito's hidden features remained inscrutable as he responded, so, the third Hokage proves to be a coward. It appears our collaboration may reach its end. Danzo swiftly countered, while Hiruzen may have balked at facing Uchiha Karen, your other plan, the removal of the fourth Hokage, remains entirely plausible. We can still collaborate on that front. Obito's response was cryptic. I'll consider this proposition, and I'll provide you with an answer after careful deliberation. With that, he vanished into thin air, using his kamui to slip away, leaving Danzo alone with the unsettling implications of their discussion. In a secluded corner of Konoha's vast cemetery, Obito materialized, his form appearing out of thin air as he employed the formidable kamui. As he stood amidst the weathered gravestones, the enigmatic Black Zetsu emerged behind him, a silent witness to Obito's thoughts. Obito, his voice tinged with a mix of admiration and suspicion, commented, just as I anticipated, Danzo remains the ever-cunning schemer. Intrigued, Black Zetsu inquired, why do you say that? Obito's gaze remained fixed on the horizon as he revealed the depths of Danzo's deceit. He concealed the true nature of the meeting's discussions from me, intentionally keeping me in the dark about Hiruzen's plan to confront Uchiha Karen. Not only that, he veiled the existence of the space seal barrier, all while promising assistance in dealing with the fourth Hokage. Obito's voice brimmed with a keen understanding as he continued, Danzo's strategy is nothing short of brilliant. He aims not only to exploit my abilities to free the Nine Tails and eliminate the fourth Hokage, furthering his own ambitions of becoming the next Hokage. Yet, once I've fulfilled my role in dealing with the fourth Hokage, he plans to kill me within the space barrier seal, sealing my fate along with the Nine Tails. In the quiet of the cemetery, the intricate web of deceit unfurled, and Obito could now see the full extent of Danzo's machinations. Black Zetsu inquired, what were your plans? Obito responded confidently, if Danzo believes he can deceive me and trap me, he's sorely mistaken. Even if he manages to somehow limit my spatial mobility, I assure you, he's gravely mistaken. After receiving training from Madara, I've acquired the power required to prevail over individuals like Danzo and his formidable root ninjas. Black Zetsu remained silent, emphasizing the priority of capturing the Nine Tails. Subsequently, Obito, accompanied by Black Zetsu, departed from Konoha. However, he strategically left behind some white Zetsus within the village to ensure he could stay informed about the latest developments in Konoha at his convenience. In the residence of Uchiha Karen addressed his subordinates who had gathered before him. I have an important task for all of you, he began, his tone commanding. Your mission is to journey to the Iron Country and promote the advantages of breathing techniques. Offer them these techniques, with the condition that in exchange for this knowledge, they become my subordinates. Nakamura, one of Uchiha Karen's trusted followers, raised a pertinent concern. But, considering the pride of the samurais, would they readily submit to your authority? Uchiha Karen acknowledged the skepticism. I share your doubts. However, attempting this is worthwhile. Not only will it enhance their combat capabilities, but it will also empower them to stand on equal footing with the ninjas who often belittle them. Nakamura nodded in agreement. We will do our best to persuade them. But, Master Karen, what if they reject our proposal? How should we proceed? Uchiha Karen, rising from his seat, outlined a contingency plan. If they decline, we must make them desperate to acquire these techniques. We shall start by demonstrating the potency of breathing techniques and tempt them. If, despite all this, they refuse, given the proximity of the Land of Lightning, we will create conflicts between the two regions. With your Mangekyou Sharingan, controlling the Lightning Country's ninja forces should not prove too challenging. Aiko chimed in. Once they witness the effectiveness of breathing techniques, they will likely seek to obtain them. This might entice major clans in the Iron Country to join us. Uchiha Karen grinned, his eyes gleaming with ambition. Indeed, my primary targets are those influential clans. General Mifune and his soldiers may be loyal to the daimyo, but these clans, they are a different story. Nakamura reaffirmed their commitment. We pledge to execute your orders diligently. With that, Uchiha Karen's subordinates departed from his residence. The following morning, they left Konoha under the guise of a mission assigned by their leader, without encountering any hindrance. Meanwhile, Danzo received word of Uchiha Karen's subordinates leaving Konoha. He dispatched a team of root ninjas to trail them, suspecting that their destination might be Megakure. After traveling for roughly half a day, Uchiha Karen's subordinates detected the presence of root ninjas tailing them. Realizing that they were being pursued, they swiftly took action. Mitsuda, renowned for his exceptional strength and swordsmanship, effectively neutralized the root ninjas with ease. They continued their journey toward the Iron Country, leaving no trace of their adversaries behind. Moments later, an Anbu ninja team arrived at the scene, discovering the discarded bodies of the defeated root ninjas. They promptly removed the bodies, their purpose and fate unknown. In the evening, at Minato's residence, Hiruzen made an appearance. Minato extended a warm welcome to the third Hokage, expressing, "Third Hokage, please come inside. We were waiting for you." Present at the gathering was Jiraiya, adding to the surprise. Hiruzen, taking his seat, greeted Jiraiya, saying, "It's unexpected to see you here." Jiraiya replied with a nonchalant demeanor, "I just dropped by for some of Kushina's delicious food." Amidst the camaraderie, Hiruzen disclosed his true purpose, stating, "I came to discuss something important with Minato and Kushina." Minato acknowledged the earlier discussion in the Hokage's office, affirming, "Yes, you mentioned that you had something crucial to discuss with both me and Kushina." Hiruzen handed a document to Minato, saying, "Read this. I received it from Danzo just yesterday." Minato attentively examined the document, which contained details about the actions of Uchiha Karen's subordinates. He absorbed the information with a solemn expression. While Jiraiya continued to enjoy his meal without getting involved, Hiruzen encouraged him, "Go ahead and read it, Jiraiya. It contains information about your 3 disciples in the Rain Country." Jiraiya's interest piqued. He swiftly took the document and began to read, his astonishment growing with every line he perused. Jiraiya's face took on a grave expression as he sought clarification. Is this information truly accurate? For me, the awakening of the Mangekyou Sharingan among Uchiha Karen's subordinates is of less concern than the details regarding my disciples. Hiruzen confirmed with confidence, "Yes, this information is entirely reliable. You know Danzo's root ninjas, they are not prone to such errors." Minato, feeling the weight of the situation, inquired, "What do you propose we should do, third Hokage?" Hiruzen articulated his plan, emphasizing the urgency of the matter. "Within Konoha, you are the sole expert in space-time ninjutsu. I urge you and Kushina to create a sealing barrier that restricts spatial movement. If possible, do this before Kushina gives birth. As you're aware, Jinchuriki are at their most vulnerable during childbirth. I fear that Uchiha Karen may exploit this opportunity to launch an attack on Konoha. Not only him, but his 5 subordinates with Mangekyou Sharingan pose a significant threat." Minato and Kushina exchanged concerned glances, comprehending the gravity of the situation and the urgency of Hiruzen's request. After learning information about Uchiha Karen, Minato and Kushina became increasingly aware of the dangers he posed. Minato took a deep breath and said, "We need a plan in case Uchiha Karen decides to rebel." Kushina nodded solemnly and added, "I promise that I'll work closely with Minato to make this plan a reality." Hiruzen couldn't help but smile at their dedication. "I'm pleased to see that both of you understand the gravity of this situation." Kushina broke the tension with a light-hearted comment, saying, "Now, let's have dinner before it gets cold." Despite her efforts, the atmosphere remained tense, given the revelations about Uchiha Karen and Jiraiya's students. After dinner, Jiraiya stood up and addressed Minato, "Minato, I'm heading to Megakure. I want to see the condition of my students with my own eyes, and see if they can be persuaded to change their path. Minato agreed, stating, "It's the best course of action if they can be convinced." Jiraiya nodded and left Minato's house. Hiruzen turned to Minato and Kushina, saying, "I suggest you both get some rest. You have a lot of work ahead of you." He then left Minato's house as well. As soon as Hiruzen departed, an Anbu ninja suddenly materialized in front of Minato's house. Minato sensed the ninja's arrival and appeared before him immediately. The Anbu ninja knelt and said, "Hokage-sama, we found the bodies of root ninjas some distance from Konoha." Minato's expression grew serious as he inquired, "Have you discovered any clues about why they were killed?" The Anbu ninja nodded and replied, "Yes, based on the information we've gathered, Uchiha Karen's subordinates were seen in that vicinity. It's highly likely that this was the work of Uchiha Karen's followers." Minato nodded resolutely and instructed, "Go summon Mr. Danzo, I need to speak with him." The Anbu ninja acknowledged with a nod and replied, "I will immediately call for Danzo-sama." Without further delay, the Anbu ninja left to relay Minato's message to Danzo. A few minutes later, Hiruzen arrived at the Hokage's office, where Minato was already waiting. Upon entering, he inquired, "I heard that root ninjas were killed by Uchiha Karen's subordinates." Minato clarified, "It hasn't been confirmed that Uchiha Karen's subordinates are responsible, but it's the most likely scenario based on the Anbu ninja's investigation. That's why I've called for Mr. Danzo." Hiruzen nodded in understanding and remained silent as they waited. Shortly after, Danzo arrived at the Hokage's office. Minato wasted no time and posed the question, "Mr. Danzo, did you send your root ninjas to track Uchiha Karen's subordinates?" Danzo clenched his fist in response to Minato's change in address, from Danzo-sama to Mr. Danzo. The clenched fists were hidden within the sleeves of his attire, concealing any visible reaction. Danzo answered, "Yes, I deployed my root ninjas to monitor Uchiha Karen's subordinates, because I suspect they may be planning something significant." Hiruzen interjected, "Given the circumstances, it's probable that Uchiha Karen's subordinates were behind the deaths of the root ninjas." Minato concurred, saying, "Indeed, it appears that Uchiha Karen's subordinates are intent on keeping their movements concealed from us." Hiruzen emphasized the need for information, stating, "We must find out where they're headed." Minato considered the matter and then made a decision, saying, "I think it's best to instruct our spies in other countries to keep a close watch on Uchiha Karen's subordinates. They need to report immediately if they detect any signs of their presence." Hiruzen agreed, adding, "That seems like a prudent course of action." After their discussion, Hiruzen lightly tapped the table, prompting an Anbu ninja to appear in the Hokage's office. The Anbu ninja knelt before Hiruzen and Minato, awaiting their command. Hiruzen momentarily forgot that he was no longer the Hokage and said, "Minato, I apologize, old habits die hard." Minato reassured him with a smile, "It's perfectly fine, third Hokage, it's only natural." Minato then turned his attention to the Anbu ninja and issued the order, "Instruct our spies to remain vigilant for any signs of Uchiha Karen's subordinates, and to report their findings immediately." The Anbu ninja acknowledged the order and departed, restoring a sense of calm to the Hokage's office. 4 days later, within the Iron Country, in the opulent confines of the daimyo mansion, a significant meeting was in session. The topic under discussion revolved around the conclusion of the Third Ninja World War. Amidst the deliberations, a samurai soldier entered the meeting hall. He respectfully offered a slight bow before addressing the assembly. "Daimyo-sama, there are 5 individuals who have arrived outside the daimyo mansion, and are requesting an audience with you." One of the samurai clan heads in attendance voiced his concern, "Can just any ninja waltz in to see the daimyo? Perhaps they should first meet with some lower-ranking officials." The samurai, however, quickly countered, "These 5 individuals are no ordinary visitors." Eager to understand the situation, the burly daimyo, seated at the head of the gathering, urged the samurai to provide further details. "Be clear, what is it that you wish to convey?" The samurai responded, "They claim to be the subordinates of Uchiha Karen." A hushed tension swept through the room as the gravity of this revelation settled in. Mifune, a prominent figure among those present, inquired, "The same subordinates responsible for the demise of Hanzo the Salamander?" The samurai nodded affirmatively and stated, "Indeed, based on their appearance and other indicators, we have confirmed their affiliation with Uchiha Karen." Upon learning that the visitors were indeed the formidable subordinates of Uchiha Karen, a solemn hush fell over the assembly. The reputation of Uchiha Karen and the recent exploits of his subordinates in the Third Ninja World War had preceded them. In response, the daimyo, acknowledging the gravity of the situation, commanded, "Bring them inside." The samurai soldier, following the daimyo's order, nodded and departed to escort Uchiha Karen's subordinates into the mansion. However, one of the clan heads, expressing his concerns, addressed the daimyo, "Daimyo-sama, is it wise to allow Uchiha Karen's subordinates entry here? Their power is widely known." The daimyo, exuding confidence and determination, responded, "What do you have to fear? The strength of those gathered here is comparable to S-rank ninja. There is nothing to fear from Uchiha Karen's subordinates." The other clan heads nodded in agreement after absorbing the daimyo's reassuring words. Shortly, Uchiha Karen's subordinates arrived within the daimyo's mansion. They positioned themselves respectfully before the daimyo and offered a slight bow as a show of respect for his position. The daimyo, acknowledging their presence, inclined his head slightly and inquired, "What brings you here?" Nakamura, representing the group, stepped forward and addressed the daimyo. "My name is Nakamura, and we are the subordinates of Master Uchiha Karen. We have been sent by Master Karen to discuss certain terms with you." Curious, the daimyo inquired, "What kind of terms?" Nakamura explained, "Master Karen is willing to share breathing techniques with the Iron Country, enhancing its strength. In exchange, he requests that the Iron Country becomes his vassal, essentially falling under the dominion of Master Karen." At the mention of these terms, the clan heads and even the general of the Iron Country leaped to their feet, their swords drawn, voices raised in outrage. Each one was poised to attack Nakamura and the other subordinates of Uchiha Karen. Nakamura and his companions, however, remained compass. They were fully aware that the Iron Country samurai would react fiercely to this proposition. The daimyo gestured with a commanding hand for everyone to fall silent, and in compliance, all present returned to their seats, albeit with their skepticism and concerns still evident on their faces. With the room now hushed, the daimyo turned his attention to Nakamura and posed a pressing question. "Is the breathing technique you speak of truly potent enough to compel us to serve under Uchiha Karen? What sets this technique apart, and why is it so special?" Nakamura proceeded to elucidate. "The breathing technique that Master Karen offers is exceptionally rare. It empowers samurai to infuse their attacks with chakra natures, effectively enabling the use of chakra nature transformations. There are 5 different breathing techniques, each corresponding to a distinct chakra nature." As Nakamura described the capabilities of the breathing technique, those in the meeting hall who had initially been skeptical grew increasingly shocked. A samurai's inability to utilize chakra natures in their attacks was a well-known limitation. Now, the prospect of overcoming this weakness with the breathing technique left everyone stunned. The daimyo, still processing the information, sought clarification. "Is what you're saying the truth?" Nakamura responded, "Of course, we have no reason to deceive you. However, there's a caveat. Not everyone possesses the talent to master the breathing technique." The daimyo nodded, probing further, "But how can we trust you?" Nakamura replied, "Your belief in us is secondary. You can only obtain the breathing technique by first accepting Master Karen's proposal." The daimyo inquired, "Have you brought the breathing technique with you?" Nakamura confirmed, "Yes." At this point, one of the ministers couldn't help but jest. "Then, why should we allow you to leave here alive? We could simply take the breathing technique for ourselves." Nakamura's response was laced with confidence as he explained, "Our strength is what gives us this confidence." With that declaration, his Sharingan transformed into Mangekyo Sharingan, and a colossal fiery orange skeleton, the Susanoo, emerged to envelop Nakamura and the other subordinates of Uchiha Karen. A perplexed samurai clan had inquired, "What is this?" Samurai soldiers within the meeting hall, believing Nakamura was about to launch an attack, unsheathed their swords and attacked, only to discover that their strikes had absolutely no effect upon the colossal skeleton. The sheer force of their blows, which could easily shatter a thick wall, failed to make even the slightest impact on the formidable construct. Nakamura dispelled his Susanoo and calmly revealed, "Had we not come here with the intention of negotiation, rest assured we could have reduced this country to dust for what was just said. My companions possess strength equal to my own." The daimyo, his expression now sullen, rose from his seat and declared, "It was never my intention to harm you. We samurai hold ourselves to an unwavering code of honor. As for your proposal, although it is tempting, I, as the daimyo of the Iron Country, must decline any subservience to Uchiha Karen." Turning to the soldiers in the hall, the daimyo issued a stern order, "Take this minister into custody. If he doesn't commit seppuku, his family will be stripped of their noble status." Nakamura, seemingly indifferent to the minister's fate, remarked, "Very well. We respect your decision." With this, Nakamura and the other subordinates of Uchiha Karen left the daimyo's mansion, employing the body flicker technique to vanish from sight. After the departure of Uchiha Karen's subordinates from the daimyo's mansion, one of the clan heads stood up and voiced his concerns, saying, "Is it wise to allow Uchiha Karen's subordinates to leave like this? Could they not pose a potential threat to us?" In response, the daimyo weighed his options and countered, "So, what do you propose I do? Should I order my army to capture them? You're underestimating their true power." The majority of those present remained confused, but the clan heads were more well informed about the capabilities of Uchiha Karen's subordinates, especially after witnessing the formidable Susanoo. Observing the uncertainty in the faces of most of those gathered, the daimyo explained further, "The eyes they possess are the same as those of Uchiha Madara, and that skeletal giant, which enveloped them, possesses an immensely resilient defense. Most S-rank ninjutsu would be futile against it. This protective construct is known as Susanoo, and its offensive capabilities are equally formidable. You can well imagine the extent of devastation they could unleash if we were to confront them here." Additionally, all 5 of Uchiha Karen's subordinates are of equal strength, so if the other 4 can also manifest Susanoo, the outcome would be disastrous. Upon hearing the daimyo's compelling explanation, a somber silence enveloped the room. With that, the daimyo concluded the day's meeting, and everyone departed from the hall, contemplating the gravity of the situation. The Iron Country has 5 major clans. The Hashigumo clan, Raigawa clan, Kasumitsu clan, Amaterasu clan, and Fujika's clan, which are just below the daimyo in terms of power in the Iron Country. In one of the opulent houses belonging to the Hashigumo clan, Tsutsaya Hashigumo, the clan head, occupied the central seat, accompanied by the elderly clan elders. The conversation revolved around the potential advantages of obtaining the breathing techniques mentioned by Uchiha Karen's subordinates. One of the elders voiced his opinion, stating, if the breathing techniques described by Uchiha Karen's subordinates are indeed genuine, it would be a remarkable opportunity for our clan to significantly enhance its strength. Another elder agreed, absolutely, acquiring those techniques would empower us significantly and provide us with a substantial force to command. However, Tsutsaya Hashigumo, the clan head, interjected with a dose of realism, saying, I'm well aware of the potential benefits, but we must remember that the daimyo has unequivocally rejected the idea of subservience to Uchiha Karen. Moreover, we lack the power to contend against Uchiha Karen and his subordinates, to forcibly seize the breathing techniques. You can definitely learn breathing techniques. A mysterious voice disrupted their discussion. Startled by the unfamiliar voice, everyone in the room swiftly rose from their seats, poised to react at a moment's notice. Emerging from the shadows, Aiko, a member of Uchiha Karen's subordinates, appeared. Observing the apprehensive reaction, Tsutsaya Hashigumo swiftly gestured for calm, ensuring that no one made a premature move. Addressing Aiko, Tsutsaya Hashigumo inquired, are you one of Uchiha Karen's subordinates? What brings you to the Hashigumo clan? Aiko responded, indeed, I am. I've come here to offer your clan an opportunity. Tsutsaya Hashigumo inquired further, what kind of opportunity? Aiko explained, you can select a member from your clan to practice the breathing technique. If the chosen individual displays talent, I will provide them with the breathing technique right away. The only condition is that your clan must pledge to serve under Master Karen. Rest assured, you will have the chance to witness the progress of the clan member practicing the technique, and verify the authenticity of what we claim about the breathing technique. Tsutsaya Hashigumo raised a valid concern, aren't you worried that by doing this, we might uncover the secrets of the breathing techniques? Aiko shook her head, her dark eyes unwavering as she said, not at all, don't forget I'm a ninja. I will place a seal upon that clan member of yours, and if he dares to reveal the secrets of the breathing techniques, he will meet his swift demise. At that moment, our deal will also be null and void. Furthermore, if, even after witnessing the power of the breathing technique, you choose not to work under Master Karen, then the clan member will have to pay the ultimate price. I would strongly advise you to select your candidate for the breathing technique with utmost care. Hearing this, Tsutsaya Hashigumo nodded in agreement, recognizing the reason in her words. I will need to consult with the elders of my clan. Only after discussing it with them can I provide a definite response. Aiko nodded, showing her understanding. But at that moment, one of the elders, seizing what he saw as a golden opportunity, chimed in. Clan head, I don't believe there's any need for you to consult further. We all agree. With his proclamation, he turned his gaze towards the other elders of the Hashigumo clan, who nodded in unison. Observing this unanimous agreement, Tsutsaya Hashigumo comprehended that no one had any objections. He turned back to Aiko and spoke, I'll ask you to be patient for a little while. We will summon some young samurais for you to assess their potential for this breathing technique. Aiko, with a graceful nod, demonstrated her willingness to wait. Can we not practice? Inquired one of the elders, curiosity piqued. Aiko replied, her tone matter of fact, this technique demands robust lung capacity. Given your age, it's unlikely to be suitable. You'll understand once you try it. The elder who had raised the question felt somewhat abashed and chose to remain silent. After a brief wait, a group of young samurais, aged between 16 and 18, gathered in front of Aiko. Without a moment's hesitation, Aiko produced a transparent stone and addressed the assembled young samurais, saying, each of you, take one of these stones and infuse it with your chakra. This will reveal your aptitude for the breathing technique. With Aiko's instructions, the young samurais each received a stone and commenced infusing it with their chakra. After evaluating the results of each test, only 3 of the samurais demonstrated the necessary talent for practicing the breathing technique. Upon receiving the test results, Aiko turned to Tsutsaya Hashigumo and inquired, whom do you wish me to instruct in the breathing technique? Tsutsaya Hashigumo had intended to choose one of the 3 samurais, but one of them stepped forward and declared, I wish to learn the breathing technique. Upon witnessing this young man's determination, Tsutsaya Hashigumo's expression shifted, and he responded, no, you can't. Clan head, please allow me, the young man implored. I am determined to master the breathing technique and reach new heights in samurai strength. I want to prove to the world that even we samurais can overcome ninjas. This young man happened to be none other than Tsutsuya Hashigumo's own son. Tsutsuya Hashigumo couldn't stifle a sigh upon hearing his son's impassioned plea. He understood all too well why Haruki was so fervently driven to attain greater strength, particularly in surpassing the elusive ninjas. Haruki had faced humiliation during one of his earlier encounters with ninjas on his journey. Tsutsuya Hashigumo sighed again and gave a nod, signifying his acceptance of his son's request. Aiko, focused solely on the task at hand, approached the young samurai without concerning herself with the underlying dynamics. She inquired, "What is your name?" "I am Haruki Hashigumo," Haruki replied. Aiko nodded and immediately activated her Mangekyou Sharingan, gazing into Haruki Hashigumo's eyes. Haruki slipped into a trance, and after a few minutes, he returned to his senses. Aiko informed him, "I have detected your talent in the thunder-breathing technique." Acknowledging Aiko's words, Haruki Hashigumo nodded and offered a slight bow in respect. Aiko then suggested to Haruki, "You may teach the thunder-breathing technique to your clan head." Perplexed, Haruki couldn't help but voice his confusion. "But didn't you mention that we are forbidden from teaching this breathing technique on pain of death?" "I understand, and that's precisely why I want you to demonstrate it in my presence. This way, you won't harbor any doubts regarding the consequences if you ever decide to reveal the secrets of the breathing technique," Aiko explained, her tone laced with a sense of caution. Haruki Hashigumo, comprehending the gravity of the situation, nodded and promptly followed Aiko's instructions. Turning toward his father, he began to speak. The thunder-breathing technique comprises 7 distinct forms. The first form is just as he began to elaborate on the first form, Haruki suddenly experienced an overwhelming sensation of suffocation. His chakra rebelled within him, and he felt as though he teetered on the brink of an explosive, life-threatening eruption. Aiko intervened swiftly, her eyes locked onto Haruki. "That's enough for now. It's thanks to my presence that you were able to utter even this much." With her task concluded, Aiko declared, "Hashigumo clan head, you have a mere 3 months to make your decision. Beyond that, you are fully aware of the consequences." With an electrifying effect, she vanished from the scene, leaving behind a sense of anticipation and a weight of her ultimatum. Several hours later, just beyond the borders of the Iron Country, the elements themselves seemed to converge and come to life. A small bolt of lightning heralded Aiko's arrival, a blazing fire marked Nakamura's appearance, a swirling gust of wind brought Hiroshi into view, the earth itself surged, and Masuda emerged, while a watery vortex materialized to reveal Emiko. Nakamura, their appointed leader, inquired, "Did your missions proceed smoothly?" Emiko swiftly responded, "Yes, without any hindrances." The Raigawa clan head was fully cooperative. Nakamura nodded in approval and then shared his own success. "My mission with the Amaterasu clan had proceeded seamlessly." Masuda chimed in, "My interaction with the Fujika's clan yielded positive results as well." Hiroshi reported, "My dealings with the Kasumitsu clan went off without a hitch." Aiko confirmed, "My mission with the Hashigumo clan also proceeded flawlessly." With their initial objectives accomplished, Nakamura continued, "Excellent. We've successfully executed the first phase of our plan. Now, we shall patiently await 1 month before implementing the second phase. During this time, we shall disperse to gather vital intelligence on the inner workings of the Iron Country." The others nodded in agreement with Nakamura's strategy, and one by one, they departed in the same elemental manner in which they had arrived, vanishing into the unknown.
And that concludes this episode. If you enjoyed it, I'd seriously love it if you leave a like on the video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and it keeps me going, plus it's free. But if you disliked it, smash that dislike button twice to be sure and comment down below the reason why. And as always guys, have a wonderful day. Hunt ahead. Salute.